Question number 12, Dr. Jackie Blue. Dr. Jackie Blue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Health and asks, what reports has he received on North Shore's Hospital's emergency department?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, I've received reports that North Shore Hospital, including its emergency department, has insufficient capacity to meet its growth in acute or emergency services. The Waitemata District Health Board has reported that core acute service patient numbers have increased by a huge 42% in just 3 years. The report makes it clear that over the last year and a half, urgent admissions have exceeded the hospital's ability to care for their patients, with patients languishing on stretchers in open spaces in the emergency department.
Dr. Jackie Blue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister, what has been the new government's response to this issue?
The Honourable Tony
Mr.
Ryall.
Speaker, today I can announce that the new government has approved Waitemata District Health Board's business case for the so-called Lakeview extension at North Shore Hospital. This business case sought approval for the $48 million project to build a much-needed extension to the North Shore Hospital Emergency Department and the hospital's acute medical capacity. The approval of this case will now allow the Waitemata District Health Board to progress to final design work, ministerial approval and construction expected to begin at the end of this year.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
In the number of admissions to the North Shore Hospital's emergency department, and in fact the emergency department of every hospital in the country, does the Minister expect, as a result of his decision to allow district health boards to hold on to the 3% future funding track money on 1 July this year, rather than passing it on to community-based health providers?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Supplementary question. Mr. Speaker, this government's inherited a very dire financial situation in the public health service.
That's right.
And this government is determined to ensure that New Zealanders get improved service from emergency departments. We think it is unacceptable that patients were languishing under fluorescent lights in emergency department at North Shore for days on end. We cannot fix that problem overnight, but this government is determined to do so.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Point of order.
Point of order, the Honourable Ruth Dyson.
The Minister failed to address my question yet again.
I must say it's not helpful in answers when the Minister starts out by talking about the questioner's party and or what this government might do in making a statement instead of actually responding to the question. I invite the member to repeat her question.
Yeah, my question was quite specific, Mr. Speaker, and I'm pleased to repeat it. What increase in the number of admissions to the North Shore Hospital's emergency department and the emergency department of every hospital in the country does the Minister expect as a result of his decision to allow district health boards to hold on to the 3% future funding track money from 1 July this year, rather than passing it on to health providers in the community?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, there are many health providers in the community who will be receiving funding increases associated with the future funding track.
Supplementary.
Dr. Jackie Blue.
To the Minister, what are the details of the approval?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, the announcement includes a major enhancement of bed capacity and a new assessment and diagnostic unit. This includes 26 extra cubicles in the emergency department, the reintroduction of an admissions planning unit, including 19 extra beds at North Shore Hospital, which is essential to addressing the flow of patients between the emergency department and the hospital, and 48 extra medical inpatient beds, a total of 93 more beds for North Shore Hospital, so we can begin addressing the problems that we have inherited at that hospital.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
What criteria has the Minister allowed district health boards to use in determining that some health providers in the community and voluntary sector will not have the 3% future funding track money passed on and others will? What criteria will make the difference?
The Honourable Tony
Speaker.
Ryall.
Well, those criteria are the same that one would have expected under the previous government, where district health boards have responsibility to manage their resources effectively. This government will be giving district health boards more money in the budget. There will be record budgets for district health boards, and that will give them responsibility to manage the needs of their patients.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
What increase in the number of admissions to the emergency department of South Canterbury hospitals does the Minister expect on the basis of his decision to allow South Canterbury District Health Board to cut home support services to anyone receiving fewer than 2 hours a week?
Order. The difficulty we have with that question is the primary was very specifically with respect to North Shore Hospital's emergency department.
And further supplementaries expanded that to other emergency departments.
But the dilemma is that if the Minister's answers can expand questions, just because I've allowed a supplementary doesn't just keep expanding the options. Point of order, the Honourable
The
Darren
last
Hughes.
answer that the Minister gave referred to DHB budgets, plural, DHBs across the country, and that he was quoting and trumpeting that he was supposedly going to be increasing budgets. The member is now asking a question about a specific DHB. This is the line of questioning because of the Minister's answers.
I'll accept the member's word and I'll invite, therefore, the Minister to answer the question.
Mr. Speaker, the South Canterbury District Health Board will be receiving increased funding in this year's budget. And is this member standing up in the House and saying that no District Health Board under that party ever responded to the requirements of their community? Because the fact is that this government is increasing resources for those district health boards, and she should be worried about that because there will be improved services for New Zealanders.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
So how does the Minister's decision to allow South Canterbury District Health Board to cut services align with his promise to New Zealanders that there would be no health cuts to frontline services? What else is a home support service to a frail elderly person only getting 2 hours a week and now to get nothing other than a frontline service?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Those services are the responsibility of the South Canterbury District Health Board. But how shameful of that member to fake some sort of concern about those older people in South Canterbury when she allowed older people in North Shore to languish under fluorescent light bulbs in the emergency department. And when the report from the Health and Disability Commissioner comes out, I'll be interested to see what she has to say.
Supplementary.
Point of order.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question. Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Can the Minister confirm that despite his attempt at self-promotion through patsy questions, that there was no emergency department at the North Shore Hospital at all until 2001 under Annette King as Minister of Health, and in fact there was no hospital on the North Shore before Stuart Nash's grandfather, Walter Nash, built it in 1958, both under Labor governments.
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Well, actually, I think George Gear deserves a lot of credit for what's happened at the North Shore Hospital.
I think that does bring to an end. I beg your pardon. The House now comes to questions to members, and the first question stands the